What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity ENC, joined by my own personal hot commodity, and his name is Ant as well. And you are jumping into our very own self-constructed time machine as we go back in time to the Attitude Era, covering WWF SmackDown from July 13th, 2000, live in Oakland, California. We're on the road to Fully Loaded, and I'm excited for that. How are you feeling about it?
I'm excited. We have one or two more episodes to watch before it. I'm ready for it.
Me too. I really I think this is a really good pay-per-view. I remember watching it like live when it happened when I was little, and
Yeah, you said you've been saying you're excited for this.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's starting to kick off to when I was really invested into it, when I really watched it. So let's cover this episode of SmackDown. We're starting out the show with Rikishi and Too Cool taking on the team of T&A and WWF Intercontinental Champion Venis. Of course, they have Trish Stratus with them. During the match, Trish gets on the apron to try to distract Rikishi and Too Cool, but Lita runs down and attacks Trish. The Hardys then fight with TNA, and then Rikishi hits a bonsai drop to Venis to get the win here for his team. After Lita and the Hardys dance with Too Cool and Rikishi getting some revenge of Venis, who stole that Intercontinental title from him. What did you think of this opening contest here?
Who was Chyna was with them?
It was Lita and the Hardys. They helped Too Cool and Rikishi beat.
Oh, that's right. This is the one where Lita busted out a move.
Mm-hmm.
It was good for the opening one, and it was cool to see Lita and the Hardys get down with Too Cool.
They sure did get down. Next, Triple H comes out carrying a sledgehammer, and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley is with them. Triple H says, "It's no secret Mick Foley and I have never gotten along. Even 10,000 miles away, Mick Foley tries to screw me." He mocks Chris Jericho and says that he's not playing a game anymore. A big warning to Chris Jericho there. Game time is over. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think hopefully we'll see maybe a main event between Triple H and Jericho for the title.
Well, no one's champion. The Rock's a champion.
Yeah, eventually. Though.
Oh, eventually? Okay. Well,
but either way, I mean, they really don't need a title for it to be a main event.
He's got a big sledgehammer with him. I bet he uses it with Stephanie at night.
I'm sure he does.
We see the Road Dogg backstage cornering Lita, and Lita slaps him, which brings us to our next match, DX versus the Hardy Boyz. Trish Stratus comes out to get revenge on Lita, choking her, which causes a distraction for the Hardys, and X-Pac lands an X Factor to Matt Hardy for DX to gain the victory after Trish Stratus drags Lita to the back. And again, we're seeing this rivalry between Trish and Lita play out throughout different matches, but
I'm excited to see them get it on for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty much like what the whole point of this is to lead these two. I'm surprised that they're actually letting women's storylines take place like this here during the Attitude Era during this time. Next, we have WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Dean Malenko with the hose defending against Al Snow. Al Snow brings out his own version of the hose, except they're blow-up dolls, which I'm sure Al has used before. During the match, Steven Richards comes out and grabs the hose, which distracts both Dean and Al. However, Dean rolls up Al Snow to retain the light heavyweight title after Steven Richards grabs the mic and says, "Whether you like it or not, I will keep censoring because it's for your own good." Do you think Richards is censoring things for our own good, Ian?
I think so. I think he's just trying to make a positive change.
He should change his outfit then, the white socks. Looks beautiful. Looks like he's serious.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a handicap match. Chyna and European champion Eddie Guerrero taking on Chris Benoit. Eddie lands a flying DDT. Chyna tosses Benoit to the ring steps. Shane McMahon comes out and drops Chyna off the apron. And then Eddie Guerrero baseball slides Shane McMahon to the announce table. Benoit applies a crossface. He doesn't break it, so Chyna and Eddie Guerrero get the DQ victory. After Shane hits Chyna in the back with the European title, Benoit applies a crossface on the referee, and then WWF Champion The Rock runs out and makes a save. He lands a spine buster to Edge and a rock bottom to Christian and Edge because they try to help out Benoit. Rock calls Chris Benoit the biggest chicken shit he's ever seen backstage, and then Benoit attacks Rock and applies a crossface while Shane mocks The Rock. Again, this match is just leading up to The Rock and Benoit's confrontation, but do you think Benoit is a good challenger for The Rock, and this crossface is as dangerous as it's being played out?
I think eventually, but I mean, we know that Chris Benoit becomes a main player, but I think it's a little soon. But I mean, they got to start getting him into it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And The Rock isn't really a submission person, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how he deals with the Rabid Wolverine at Fully Loaded. Edge and Christian come out. They're supposed to defend the tag titles against the Acolytes, but Edge says that he's in bad shape, so Christian's going to take on Faarooq, and Faarooq says there will be no title match tonight, clearly. Faarooq dominates the match pretty much, and he lands a spine buster to get the victory. Afterwards, Edge nails Faarooq with the ring bell, and these four have to meet eventually.
Edge said there would be no championship match, not Faarooq.
Yeah, did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I meant Edge. I'm sorry about that, but
Edge
what do you think?
Out.
He did. So
they
what do you think?
The match.
Who do you think will win when they eventually fight the two teams, Edge and Christian or the Acolytes?
Well, I think the Acolytes have kind of had their day, but they're still really dominant. So, for a team to win against them puts them in the number one spot still. So I think they'll be used as like a stepping stone for Edge and Christian.
Okay. We see Kurt Angle's backstage, and he's thanking Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley, and he asks her for a hug. They hug each other.
He forced himself on her.
Well, Triple H sees the hug, and Stephanie claims that Kurt Angle forced himself
on her.
That's what
happened.
During Kurt Angle's match against Kane, Triple H comes out and tosses Kurt Angle into the ring steps, allowing Kane to land a chokeslam, and Kane defeats Kurt Angle here with some help from Triple H. I mean, do you think Triple H... Did Kurt force himself on Stephanie here?
100%. I even saw him grab her boob.
Ooh, that was pretty hot. An Olympic gold medalist grabbing a married woman's breast.
Yeah.
What a way to honor America. Hardcore champion Steve Blackman defends against Crash. Steve attacks Crash with kendo with nunchucks and then kicks Crash off of a chair onto a trash can to retain the title. You're a big fan of Steve Blackman. What do you think of him as hardcore champion so far?
Well, I just think Steve Blackman's kind of hot, but he doesn't really have a personality. Okay. But and he's a good fighter too. Yeah, he makes an all right. He's kind of like too serious to be hardcore champion, but yeah.
I get it. We'll see more with his personality coming down the line pretty soon. Our main event, it's a no disqualification match. The Undertaker versus Triple H with women's champion Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley. During the match, Stephanie grabs Undertaker's hair, and Triple H hits the Undertaker in the back with a steel chair. Taker lands a power slam, and then Kurt Angle comes out. He has a sledgehammer. He swings it at Triple H. Triple H ducks, and Angle accidentally hits the Undertaker with a sledgehammer after destroying his motorcycle and mocking him on Raw.
There is going to be hell to pay.
Yeah, Triple H gets the victory, but all in all, it's basically Kurt Angle screwing the Undertaker over again. What do you think is going to be in store for Kurt Angle when the American Badass gets on that Fully Loaded?
I don't think it's going to be good, that's for sure.
It's not going to be a good time for the Olympic gold medalist. Well, things are picking up. We're starting to see wrestlers that end up having Hall of Fame careers start their career here. You can check out past episodes in the archive. They're all on our YouTube channel, the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe, like, hit a notification bell to stay notified when new content is created. We'll be continuing on along with the Attitude Era as we cover Raw, SmackDown, and then we got Fully Loaded. Keep up with our WWE recaps of Raw, SmackDown. We're on the road to WrestleMania 41. We've got AEW Revolution dropping soon and much more coming your way. Until next time, stay safe
and stay uncensored.